Welcome back to the Traders Network. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for joining us. We're also streaming to you live on yorbamedia.com. All right, Nick Santiago, President, CEO, InTheMoneyStocks.com. One of the very few guys out there on a global scale that can say, yep, so far 2013, we're up 200%. Good job, Nick.
It's been a pretty good year, Michael. It's been a pretty good year. Hopefully, we'll keep it going.
All right. Well, you didn't get lucky doing that. There's a lot of practice, a lot of homework. So this is you're good and lucky.
Well, what traders don't realize it does take a lot of work and a lot of effort and a lot of studying. But all in all, you're never going to be right on every trade. But when you're wrong, you want to be wrong in a small way, and that's really the key to most successful traders.
Great takeaway message. All right, IEF, that 7 to 10 year Treasury bond fund. What do you want to talk about with this?
Yeah, I want to talk about the IEF today because this is Barclays 7 to 10 year Treasury fund, and it's been really sinking. Right now, we are looking for this to go down lower to around the $96, $95 area, and I think that's where traders can expect a more pronounced bounce. Right now, any bounce in this IEF can be sold because it should head lower, and that ultimately should send interest rates higher. Okay. So, again, I know we talked about this on your program probably last month or maybe even 2 months ago, but right now the IEF is in a nice daily chart downtrend and should be headed down to that 95 area.
Okay. All right. You've been trading that one lately, or are you waiting for something to happen to put a trade on with this?
No, we've been in and out of this a few times. Right now, I know, though, that yields are moving up today. So I just want to give the listeners an alert that we'll be looking to potentially be in the TBT on any bounce in this. We'd be buyers of the TBT or the PST, which is contra to this.
Okay, got that. Now, I see that the TLT has broken through some really severe, key support areas today relative to about 4 days ago. What do you say about that one?
Yeah, TLT is headed lower as well. This should ultimately go down to around the $99 level. There's actually a head and shoulder top in place as well, so that pattern projects us to go down to around 95 and change. Same prognosis for this one. This one is headed lower, and yields ultimately will head higher. So it doesn't mean yields will go straight up, and this won't go straight down. But if you get another bearish pattern, you can short this all the way down to that level.
Wow. All right, that's going to be a big move. All right, another hometown hero company for Dallas, Exxon.
Yeah, ExxonMobil, one of the leading integrated energy stocks out there today, reported earnings that were pretty lackluster when it was all said and done. I would not be a buyer of Exxon here, but around 87, I would be a buyer.
Okay. Now, give me an overall view of what you think, bigger picture, what you think is going to happen with this stock.
Well, right now, the market's still somewhat euphoric, so the stock may get supported around these levels, but around 87, this is a stock that I continually trade in and out of for my IRA. And believe it or not, Exxon's a great stock to own because they have exposure to everything. But when it gets down to 87, you can own it for a bounce. And then when it tops out again and it comes back down, we'll find the next level. But this is a stock ultimately is one of the leading energy companies in the world, and I really don't see that changing.
Okay. All right. RDS.A.
Yeah, this is Royal Dutch Shell, and today it's getting shelled. The stock is sharply lower. Right now, I think traders want to be a little bit careful with this name. This is another leading energy play that is really taking it on the chin. But when the stock gets down to around $60, I would own this one as well.
Okay, all right. And bigger picture, same thing. You see blue skies ahead in the longer term for this as well as like Exxon?
No, not necessarily. But right now, when it gets down to that level, that's just where traders are going to come in and support it. So right now, I wouldn't touch it. But it gets down to around $60, $59.50. I would be all over it.
Okay, all right. APD.
Yeah, APD I wanted to bring up today because as everybody maybe knows, you have these war of the whales, so to speak. This Bill Ackman is in this stock, just got involved in this stock. This was one I told my chat room members yesterday, right at the highs, that they can buy puts on this thing, and already it went from 111 down to 107 today. And I continue to think that this wants to pull back further. But the reason why I bring it up is that Bill Ackman right now is under a lot of pressure. He is long JCPenney, and that stock is getting hammered. Carl Icahn and George Soros and other hedge fund managers like Dan Loeb and others continue to buy Herbalife and push that higher while this guy is short Herbalife, and that's one of his biggest positions. So I just think that the hedge funds will ultimately push this one down as well, just to hurt Ackman and his portfolio. So this is one, it's a little bit of a soap opera. It's a good stock. But, again, watch for this APD to Air Products and Chemicals to trade down to around $93.
Okay, got it. All right. What about the one that you woke us up to, J.P. Morgan? What do you think about that, the banking industry?
Well, I got to say, as long as J.P. Morgan holds up, the stock market holds up, and that's what's happening right now. I really can't touch JPM up here. The stock looks so toppy and lofty. I just can't buy it, but yet it doesn't pull back. It defies gravity. But use it as a market barometer for the most part. If the stock starts to break down, and again, last week on your show I talked about the $52 level, that would be critical support. If that is broken, then there's real problems in this market. But right now I could not be a buyer of JP Morgan up here, but as a market barometer, when J.P. Morgan's doing well, the stock market's doing well. In essence, J.P. Morgan is the real Bank of America.
Okay, I know there was a lot of people looking for a bigger pullback on the S&P market than we've had so far, but it just blew right through 1,700. I mean, 1,702 is not that blowing through it, but it hit it, and it caused a lot of stops to hit. Is this a short squeeze, or are you thinking that this could be the beginning of possibly a much bigger move?
No, I'm not in that camp right now. I've actually been short the S&P and been wrong. So right now, the way I'm looking at this market is, maybe it has another dollar and a half on the spiders. If you're looking at the S&P cash, maybe it gets to 1720 or something around that level. But I just don't see the strength in it, Michael. Forgive me the trend is up, and I'm not looking to fight it at all. But when I see the S&P spiders go up with 83 million shares, it's just not real conviction, and I just have a hard time with the market right now buying markets up at these levels. So like I said, if you're looking at the S&P cash, maybe it trades to 1720. If you're looking at the S&P futures, maybe around 1717, 1718, and that's where it'll stall out. I know the market has just been tremendous. It just doesn't go down anymore. But it's very, very toppy, in my opinion. Okay.
All right. Copper you've impressed the heck out of me with your ability to trade copper. Do you have any comments on that?
Well, I mean, if you're looking at the copper market right now, for the most part, we really haven't seen all that much strength. If you're looking at copper futures, around 325, that's really all they have in the tank. I just don't see the strength in copper right now whatsoever. So maybe a little bit higher from here, around 325 would be really the maximum that I could see it going up.
So no trend, just a trading range is what you're thinking?
It really is. It's just a sloppy range. Around 325, I could actually see it sell off all the way down to 275. So I mean, around 325, that's where I would get interested in shorting it. Those of you out there that look at the JJC, it would be around $40.
Okay. What happened in the trading room today?
Well, trading room was pretty good. We woke up to a big gap up, so that takes a little bit of life out of us. But, we had a nice SanDisk short in the morning. That was one of our gap plays. There was also an ExxonMobil gap play. Both worked out very, very nice. And we had a couple of other trades out there, so that all played out pretty decently. So all in all, it was a good day. A little bit of a slower day because of the gap up. As a day trader and a scalper, you really want that morning volatility. And when we get these big gap ups, sometimes it does suck a little bit of the life out of the market. But either way, it was a good day overall.
Okay, all right. Now, we've got about a minute and a half left, maybe two. Walk us through a normal trading day in your world, in your room. What if somebody was to come there? What would they see? What would they experience? Give us a feel for that.
Yeah, well, if you come in the morning, right around 9 o'clock in the morning, you'll come in and you'll see our screens. We usually have the S&P futures posted, maybe a chart of the Japanese yen. But basically what you'll get is you'll get all of my morning gap play setups, and I usually put about 5 to 10 gap plays out every morning before the market even opens. So we have instant action as soon as the opening bell kicks off at 9:30. Today we had a Sandus short in play within minutes, and that played out to the tune of over $1 in just a little while. So each and every day you're going to get action right off the bat, and then we're going to go through the markets and we're going to look at particular setups that are out there after the first couple of hours, and we'll do that really continuing into the end of the trading day. So, if you're a short-term trader and you just want to trade the morning gaps, I mean, we have people being that are done trading by 10:30 in the morning, and they have 2, 3, 4 winning trades in the books every day.
Well, 200% so far in 2013. You just keep doing the right thing, Nick.
Thank you very much, Michael.
You got it. Nick Santiago, President, CEO, InTheMoneyStocks.com. Go there and see how this guy made 200% so far. I'm sure he's a little bit higher than that now.